PKA 642. Guests had trouble. No guests tonight, just the boys.
That looks retarded. That is absurd. It is the most Oreo cookies and cream. It's already cookies and cream.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's just taking.
It's literally cookies and cream.
You're right. This is spitting in God's face.
It's like making a ham sandwich that's filled with a ground up ham sandwich. You were already there.
You know, that's how they make Twixes.
Dude, the Oreo answer was interesting.
Yeah, did you know that the inside of a Twix is made from crushed up irregular Twix?
What? Nah.
Yeah, the inside of a Twix is made of Twix.
It's all caramel and
No, the cookie crushed up part.
Really?
Yeah, like all the ones that aren't right. Because I watched some video where some guy was like, "Did you know that Twix are made of Twix?" I'm like, now I gotta fucking watch this shit. And so then I did, and
dude, that's
I
a really
trusted
complicated manufacturing software problem. So hear me out. I used to work in this business. If you were to make like a ballpoint pen, right? Imagine an exploded diagram of a ballpoint pen. You're like, all right, for every pen we sell, we need one spring, one tube of ink, one little clicker thing, and a clip thing, and a big tube, and whatever. All right, cool. If I told you that for every pen, there's like a recursive, like pen inside the pen, you're like, shit. The ingredients for a pen are infinity. Like there's no end to how many things I need to make pens. How do I solve this? I was on a tech support call, and one of the ingredients in beer somehow was beer. And I was like, well, I don't know anything about beer, and I don't know how to solve this problem for you. I'm only 23 years old.
You're like, but wait, where does the beer come from? Did we make it?
The store, idiot.
This is going to be a rough conversation.
It's like a sourdough. You get a starter beer.
Oh, do you know some of those starter doughs are over 100 years old with the sourdough stuff? Yeah, it looks like some of those perpetual stews. So a perpetual stew, Woody, some of those have been going for a decade or more. It's a big cauldron over a heat source, and they have had it boiling with food in it that they have been serving for years.
Really?
Yeah,
they just keep adding ingredients, but it's never at zero.
It's never even close.
Dude, I looked up who owned Oreo, and so many fucking layers. Hang on. The Oreo is owned by Nabisco, a subsidiary of Mondelez, which is a subsidiary of Cadbury, a well-known British candy maker.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. That's where it stops. So,
okay. Cadbury's their own man, eh? That's surprising. The people who make the Easter eggs.
I don't know if I've even had. Or no, yeah, you're right. The Easter eggs. I've definitely had one of those.
Yeah, that cream inside.
Cadbury owns Nabisco. You've eaten tons of shit, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, I just mean the Cadbury eggs in particular. Those cream-filled chocolate eggs.
I love those things. They're amazing.
Really?
I feel like I'm the only one.
Turn off.
I'm like, how do people not know they're incredible?
I like the cherries, the chocolate-covered cherries that have the cum inside.
Well, is it cum or is it not?
I always hoped it was cum.
I've never liked chocolate covered cherries too much. If don't put fucking fruit in my nonsense.
I was really
cherry
against you until you said
pickled in sugar, and you're calling fruit.
Yeah, there's probably still fucking vitamins in it.
No, there's never any vitamins in cherries. We don't eat cherries. No one eats normal cherries. Do you know? No. The only way we eat cherries is when we like pickle them in sugar and turn them into a candy.
I eat normal cherries.
Well,
as a kid, I would.
You eat all sorts of bizarre things. That latke bread that you eat every day is a weird item that most people
lavish bread.
What kind of lavish bread? You're right. What kind
that
of
shit is good?
I'm confused now.
When do I eat cherries?
Yeah,
Jackie cuts them up and puts them in my Grey Doucette protein French toast.
Oh, damn. That sounds pretty fancy. And that's not a dessert. And so fruit's fine there.
Okay.
Does she pit them first or they come pitted?
She pits them. Yeah.
It's dangerous business. What if she misses one?
Then you eat a little bit of Jackie. What are you? There's a surprise fingertip in there.
Yeah.
One of my greatest fears is biting down on a pit as hard as when you're eating, you're reckless abandon. Taylor, it'd be like unmovable object or like unstoppable object, unmovable force. Taylor bites a pit. He has a nuclear fusion happens in his and that's how he became the nuclear jaw. You can fight crime then. No, I'm so afraid of biting down on a pit and breaking a tooth.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go anywhere near a pitted fruit.
I've broken my tooth.
Olives can't be trusted.
I've never been a fan of olives. I don't think they bring enough to the table.
Don't olives have soft pits? That little red thing?
That is not a pit.
What is it?
It's a pimento.
Is it put there on purpose?
Yeah, they stuff it in there.
Seems like a high effort.
Pimentos
For
are great.
cocktails. I've had.
I don't eat olives. I don't eat
I
olives,
only
and I
eat-
don't let Jackie eat olives
It's good. It's
I
good.
find
Why don't
it-
you let Jackie eat olives?
because
Iron
she's
fist.
temporarily repulsive to me after having eaten olives, and that's what you're going for. Don't do it.
It's
I like
definitely the
olives.
least worst pizza topping.
I like it
Olives.
on pizzas. I like it on sandwiches, and I like it in vodka. That's where it's good.
No,
I
it's
like
it's
blue
it,
cheese. I had these blue cheese stuffed olives that are repulsive. They are huge. They're like the size of a goddamn testicle. And they're fucking. They like split it perfectly. They must have done it by hand, and they pump it full of the most tart blue cheese you've ever had.
Mm,
And then they throw it in whatever that olive juice is, that pickling brine, and then send it to me. And I keep those in my fridge, and every now and then I'll pop one of those in my mouth when I walk by, and they are disgusting.
Why do you keep eating them?
I
You
paid so
forget?
much for them that there's just no goddamn way I'm throwing them away. And I make sure that someone sees me every time I eat one, so they think I'm fancy and refined.
Wow,
Ah!
look at him popping an olive in his mouth.
One of my blue, there they are. Not that brand. Those look. I wouldn't
The
want
Amish
Amish
buggy.
buggy brand ones, but.
Honestly, I bet the Amish make best, like really good ones.
Yeah, they made those by. They're making those by hand, though. I bet you can see
Yeah.
where they punched out the pit, and
I'm
don't-
surprised that you dislike olives so much, and they don't bring anything to pizza. They don't
I like
bring
the
enough.
flavor. I recognize the flavor, and olive paste is really good on sandwiches too. I like.
You know
olive.
what? I
gonna
think
try that.
pineapple and chicken gets too much hate as a pizza topping.
Ugh.
No chicken,
Really?
but I'm
Chicken's
so I
insane.
I can't control the quality and the texture of the chicken meat.
True.
It's never good. That's the problem there. That's why I'm against it. If it were good, like white meat shredded chicken with buffalo sauce, that sounds amazing. But it never really is. So, but pineapple on the other hand, that comes out of a can. It's always good. So I like pineapple and jalapeno and pepperoni on my pizza. That's how I order pizza.
Really? Yeah, a little
Yeah.
pineapple adds some zest. It adds some sweet. It adds a little tang. It's a good addition. I like pineapple.
I've never been more
Yeah.
sure that I'm in the majority opinion of
You got the
pineapple
spicy,
is
the
just so-
sweet, the salty. It's good.
Pineapple is
vocal
wonderful.
minority.
Pineapple is
Jalapeno.
delicious on its own, but it doesn't belong on pizza. The temperature of a wet, moist piece of pineapple does not return to room temperature at the same rate of every other bit of the pizza. So you have colder than the rest of the pizza pineapple. Wet
Oh no, it's
slices in
hot.
there.
It's hot when I bite like the pineapple. Like I can tell that when the pineapple juice
Instantly, you
hits
eat
my
it. Yeah.
mouth, it's hot.
What's it like 4 minutes later? As it
Well-
cools faster than the pepperoni, then the
Are you
sausage.
sure it cools
the
faster?
bag.
I think
I
it
think
has
hot
more
pizza-
thermo capacity. I think it cools slower. That you can eat a cold pizza and the pineapple still is like a boiling inside.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
If
don't
anything,
think
it's
so.
too hot.
You know, I
it's
think
too
you lack the pineapple experience.
Fuck you.
Usually I've got to cool that pineapple off when it gets to me. Like, whoa, honey, don't bite it. There's pineapple on there. You know how hot that stays.
You know what does
Hours
that
at
for
a
real?
time. It's like a thermos.
Jackie makes meals for me, and they
I
have
think it's creating heat.
cherry tomatoes. You cook a cherry tomato, that thing is burning hot when the rest of the meal has cooled off. It's just a time bomb waiting for you
Cool.
to bite and explode its roof of your mouth burning juices.
I love eating cherry tomatoes. It reminds me of that scene in Return of the King when Denethor is eating little tomatoes on his pewter plate, as obviously Faramir is riding back towards Osgiliath, trying to seize it from Gothmog, the lieutenant of
I don't know any of this Harry
Lemania,
Potter
you know,
shit.
Sauron's
Yeah.
armies.
Sauron's armies.
At the behest of the Witch King. He's
At
sort
the
of
behest of the
general on
Witch King,
Witch
who
King,
oh,
just
Jedi's,
arrived
Jedi's.
from his keep at Minas Morgul. Of course, concurrently, we obviously know that Sam and Frodo were making their way up to Shelob's Lair.
Mhm.
But anyway, let's just talk about Lord of the Rings for a while,
Winding
man. Just talking about Lord of the Rings. I want to rewatch. It's a scene that I love in Return of the King, but like lots of movies, if you guys are similar to me, like I don't want to watch a scene that I recall so fondly. Like I like the build up into it. Like I like watching the film again. Like that scene when they're in Minas Tirith and the troll is banging on the gate at the top of Minas Tirith, and Gandalf is with Merry behind. Pippin behind the wall, and Pippin's like, "Is this how it ends?" And he's like, "End? No,
This is the end.
doesn't end here." And then like he does that whole thing, and like it's such a fucking excellent scene. And every time I get to that in the movie, I'm like, damn, I'm glad I watched the whole movie to like get to this one again.
Yeah, I like that scene a lot.
Love that scene. I get shivers.
And in the background, you can see the whole battlefield in the distance, Mount Doom and everything. And then you see
which movie is this?
It's
Return of the King.
The third one. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, at like Minas Morgul, that green fucking spire of energy shoots into the end of the sky, and they see, and Frodo and Sam see it because they're right there. And Gandalf and Merry or whoever looks up and they see it too, and it gives you that cool perspective because it's rare in the movie that you're like, I wonder where Gandalf is right now in perspective to Frodo. But in that moment, you're like, oh yeah, Gandalf's basically looking at Frodo in that moment. That's cool. Yeah.
It's a great
well, they're
scene.
about to they're going to remake that thing and they're going to fix it this time. It's going to be so much better. Not only that, Warner Brothers is going to fix Harry Potter for us.
I heard that too.
No, I don't care about that.
Yeah, that's not your.
Actually, you know what? In
who should be Harry
solidarity,
Potter?
I care about that.
Who should they cast as Harry Potter? Tom Holland.
The person who's going to be Harry Potter, we don't know. It's going to be a 10-year-old child.
It's probably a famous 10-year-old kid out
You're
there.
right.
Yeah, it's going to be. It'll be
You're
all
right.
10-year-old kids because they want to do a year of the show for every year of the book. 7 years, 7 seasons, starting with 10-year-old.
Oh, it's TV.
Yeah, on HBO,
Ah. So then they
HBO,
probably
so they might fuck.
owned by Warner Brothers.
So they're gonna pick some. They usually when they do this shit like pick an unknown actor, right? Like especially for a
It
kid.
will be a 10-year-old. So again, how many 10-year-old actors do we know?
Yeah, I follow him when. That's
Well, there's little Jimmy.
Little Jimmy.
Cut his notebook.
Great.
Stevie, best actors. I guess that's not true because Frodo did a bunch of stuff, and I don't know if Daniel Radcliffe was an actor before Harry Potter, if they just threw him in
Those-
that.
They were little children who we'd never seen before. All of them were. I think that it was like a big casting call.
They did a really good job of the casting. Like all jokes aside, in Harry Potter, those stars turned out to be good through young adulthood.
As actors, you mean?
As actors, yeah. And a lot of them sort of grew up kind of attractive, like Hollywood attractive.
I don't think any of them were ugly.
Yeah. I guess I was thinking of Weasley, but whatever. He's not ugly.
I
Yeah,
would
you
not invest in
personally.
trains. I think that trains is a great hobby for.
Do you really?
No, I
Yeah,
would
you
not invest in
personally.
trains. You're against the rules. I'm calling brown shirts.